Hello, well it's the 1st of July and it's lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and I shall give you a tour, our monthly tour. So here we are on the 1st of July and things are now taking shape. The weeds also coming too. So this is my flower bed, which has not got many flowers on. It's got more weeds, and the old raspberries are taking over slowly. That's a job to be done. And the lavender has gone crazy. Cut that all down. The rosemary. Let's have a look in the raspberries. So as we come in to the arch, it's a bit wild. These are the raspberries that came from my plot just up there, which haven't really done too much. These are the ones that were established before. Stick that hole up there. These are coming out. Not looking too bad. Still a few more to come out. The path has got a bit overgrown. And in the back there's some more. That totally needs weeding. And in between is the thistles, the stinging nettles. So this does need a bit of a sort out. I never cut these back last winter because I wasn't sure what variety they were. So they only cut so high, about waist height. So at least I can keep an eye on them now. There's a few coming up over there. A few hard between the two. Cage is the Charles Ross apples. They're coming on quite nicely. Coming to a decent size. Very nice. So this is the carrots in a tub, and I'm quite regretting it, putting it around here now, because it is a pain right around the back here. I moved the potatoes that were here because the stinging nettles from the field just really come over the fence. So I need to work and get this properly next time. So that's the carrots, and as you can see the raspberries are bursting to get out, and there's a bee. One to the next, to the next. Good job done. So as we walk around the raspberry cage, somebody's left a wheelbarrow full of weeds. But anyway, this is the pea department, and we're actually getting some peas because we struggled with the peas, and they're growing quite fast, and we do have some peas. These are the alderman peas. So this is 6 foot tall now, growing strong. Very good. And then behind us we have the compost bin. I have taken the roof off now, and also next to the compost bin is the sunflowers. This is for the sunflower challenge. You can see the sunlight now. This is in the old compost bin from last year. So hoping we'll get some good nutrients. So let's spin us round, and then we're back to the potatoes. And all these potatoes are still in the ground. Not touched these ones yet, although we have pulled up some tomatoes from the veg in one, some potatoes from the veg in one bed, which you can see on a previous video, which I can put a card up. So there are some weeds in between, but I hope to pull some of these up soon. And then we got some flowers on the end. That's the potato bed. Let's go on to the next bed. So after a week of needing to weed this, we actually got round to weeding it, and now it's pretty weed free. So we've got the front row, which I don't actually know what it is, and then the second row with the cabbages. We've took one cabbage out, that one's doing quite good, and then we've got, I think they're cauliflowers, 2 rows, and then some sprouts, 2 rows, and then some more cabbages on the end. Might not be able to see them very well. So the broad beans are doing good now. I was worried about these, but some of them are still a bit slow. The ones on the left there are a bit slow. These on this side are growing tall, flowering, and the ones on this side are growing up. Not too bad. These are what I thought I lost in the cold spell. I just cut off the old leaves, but they're doing alright. On the back here, they're still a bit neglected. And that's 3 blackberry plants, as well as some manure tea and a neglected gooseberry. Let's take a look at the random tomato tunnel. See what we got in here. This is the random ones that came at the skip. They're doing quite well. These are just planted straight into the ground, and they, to be honest, they don't get a lot of attention. They're kind of forgotten about in here, which is what I need to focus on next year. But they're doing okay. I've no idea what types these are. The first 2 here are really tall, and then the next 3 probably need a water. They're kind of a small cherry type, and then these, I'm not sure, but they should get a water before I end. So the next bed along has got some lavenders and the old primulas. This is my daughter's bed, who's obviously left her tools out. And the sweet corn's making progress, and some random, not sure what that is in the middle, not sure, any ideas? But anyhow, the onions are a bit thistly in there, and I found some tray of onions in the brassica tent. Not sure even why they were in there, but anyway, lupin's still going well there. And I obviously left my leeks out last night. My daughter tried to plant some wild strawberries along the edge, which she tried. petunias on the shed are still looking good, maybe coming to an end. And then I've got my tomato in a pipe, just in case short of space. Put a tomato in a drain pipe. It's got 2 tomatoes. There you go. This old lavender's coming out now, which is quite nice. This was in the tunnel and I took it out, just put it in this spare pot. Let's just have a quick glance through the door of the tunnel while we move across to the little flower bed we got here, and some sweet peas. These are the sweet peas that were on my plot. These, along with some beetroots, were the only things that were left when I moved on to my plot. So I saved the seeds, and now they're doing quite good. And these are the herbs that I got from the skip, and these herbs along with these herbs here. This is my potatoes I pulled up from the Vegemon bed and I've stuck them back into a pot. Not sure whether I should have took the green off. What do you suggest? Should I take the green off? Just have the potatoes on their own? Let me know. Behind that is the bucket of turd, and excuse the shadows, we have a stem from the bucket of turd. Potato in a pot of turd. So we shall see what that's like. And the rest of my potatoes are down the edge here now. So outdoors we have 2 tomatoes here. These are just random ones that have gone a bit mad in the tunnel, so I've just moved them outside. The rhubarbs are all done, and the asparagus has gone crazy tall. This is a next bed to be worked on. Bit of a mess. And the strawberries need a bit of a weed too. The grass needs cutting, but it's not my job, my month this month, but I might just do it anyway. This is my Vegemon bed, which you might have seen a video over the weekend, but if not, the runner beans are here, the French beans, along with beetroot, lettuce, and the broad beans are tumbling over. They were tied up, they're tumbling over. And on the end we have the newly planted leeks, which were done yesterday. The next bed along is some cauliflowers, which does need a weed. And then the next bed along is tomatoes. These are random tomatoes that just grew out of the ground in the polytunnel. This bed was not even a bed, it's just totally just full of fresh manure just laid on top. So I decided to stick the tomatoes in, see what happens, and they're growing. Growing up the arch is an outdoor cucumber. I picked that up from someone's house who was advertising that we've got too many cucumbers. And then on the end we have got courgette, which we haven't seen any just yet, but there is one in there. We've got 2 courgette plants. Now these are the onions, the Ericas, Little Welsh Gardens pound saver onions. They look like they're near enough done. Really didn't think they were going to come to anything. They're looking really good. Really good. And then next is the squash bed. Now, I thought I was putting pumpkins in here, but they seem to be courgettes growing. I think the back one there is pumpkin, but the rest I think are courgette. Do you agree? I'm making this into a whole one bed square with these pallets. But the other wood is still there. I've not had a chance to do that. So walking down the back, it's looking very scruffy. These are the pallet collars that I've saved that I was using here, which will eventually be my fruit garden going down this way. And then my children's area, swing. So it really does need a cut of the grass. We need to sort this out. I want to make a kind of utility area at the back here, and maybe manure and parts and bits and pieces all together, so it's all tidy. But as it always is, we're all so busy, it's getting round to do that. So let's have a look in the tunnel. So as we enter the tunnel, it's very hot. So we have some sunflowers. Two lots, harlequins and the sunflowers from the birdseed. And the tomato tumbler, we had 2 tomatoes off that yesterday. Sadly I didn't try one because the kids ate them before I did, which is not good. And on the water tray we have some dead chard, some dying broccoli, some beetroot, leeks, some broccoli, some kale, more beetroots, the aubergine. This is Erica's loofah that needs to be potted up, and these are Brussels sprouts and tomatoes that were supposed to be collected by my plot neighbour but never did. This one here, we've got 2 melons, and I've got 2 more melons down the back, and I also put 2 melons with the sweet corn outside so they can grow up the sweet corn. Everything's so hot in here, so hot. And that's the strawberries, the remains of the strawberries. Not much happening there now. And this is tomato tumbler. Look at all the flowers. But it's so hot in here, it's hard to keep the water levels up. And then we got the marigolds. Everything's going to need a good water in here before we go. And this is the parsnips. Not grown parsnips before, although they're my favourite vegetables. I saw Terry King, robotic gardener, do his in a similar way, so I've decided to copy in a smaller scale. And then looking down at my tomatoes, I think we finally are starting to get them to turn. These first 9 are Alicantes. They're still flowering, but they're so dry. There's so many fruits on them. And then the last one was Crimson Crush. Nope, it was Sun Gold, which is totally different way of growing. In the middle is Gardener's Delight. There's some small tomatoes forming on here, but the growth on these are incredible. Just 1 week and the suckers are out. This was all done like a week ago, and all the suckers have grown since then. Absolutely crazy. So it's interesting to see which ones I will grow again in the future. I have a few small random tomatoes here. Once I got all these tomatoes in, my daughter says she wanted steak tomatoes, so I bought a gigantum to see if that comes to anything. But it's so hot. So hot. We've got a beefsteak next to it here. Plants are just shriveled. Let's get down to water. And the cucumbers are turning a bit yellow at the back here. These are the Emilies. There's 2 Emily here. And then I've got 2 Emily going up this trellis. We've had about 16 cucumbers so far, which has been pretty good. And these are mini ones that have not grown much now. And planted next to them is the 2 melons. I need to put some more canes up. And then next to that is the peppers. These have been so slow taking off, but in the last week they've just doubled in size. And I can actually see a pepper now. And then next to that is the chilies. We took a few chilies off of that now, and it's doing quite well. Just over the last week it's just been all taking off. Look at these tomatoes. I only pruned those yesterday. Just crazy. These are the Telegraph cucumbers. There's 2 cucumbers there going. They need to come off. And this is my tomato basket. Upside down basket. And also we went past my tomato in a bottle. It's got some tomatoes on it, but it's probably quite dry like everything else. So a good water is needed in here for sure. On the back row we've got the broccoli. That's just amazing. I can't remember what type it is. We took some off yesterday and we had it for our dinner, and it's incredibly nice, but I sure can't remember. Can you tell what it is by the video? Let me know if you can, it'd be lovely. I need to find back and look at some videos. And then next to that is the cauliflowers. We'll take a look round and have a look. This is a week after my strawberry challenge, my strawberry experiment, and some strawberries. Don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens with that. Anyhow, the sweet corn is doing really good. That's growing really fast. And the board beans next to it, they need wrapping around the pole. One mistake I've done is that I planted tall marigolds in here, which should have been dwarf ones. So that's a lesson to be learnt, because now I can't get past without kicking the marigolds. So this is the cauliflower. It's the first time I've seen the cauliflower today. and it's turned very yellow. Need to Google what's happened there, why it's yellow. Is that going to seed, is it? Don't know. Maybe let me know, that'd be grand. Well, that is my polytunnel, and I've even got some random potatoes growing in the back. One last thing before we leave, the 3 halo tomatoes are Elsa Craig, and then the one next to it here is a random one, and I'm going to try and grow the biggest tomato. So I've left 2 tomatoes on the vine, and I shall wait and see what the biggest one is. I tried a second plant here, but it's gone a bit random, so that's not really useful. But anyhow, I hope you like my tunnel. I'm going to get out of here because it's absolutely baking hot. So hot. And I'm just waiting to try one of these tomatoes. Maybe tomorrow. Thank you very much. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed what you've seen, then please subscribe, ring the bell, and get notifications when I post some more. Please leave me a comment. I do appreciate comments. It's so good to see who's watching, and makes it worth it all in the end. Thank you very much. Bye bye.